Today we have a every minute on the minute strength and stretch work. Let's go ahead and start with our warm up. Feet hip width apart and parallel. Draw your knees up towards your chest, strong point through your toes, warming up your lower body. So for today, we have 7 different moves with stretches that correspond to those moves. Go ahead and take your knee up and over to a side lunge. Press your hips back. So we're going to do the first round, 40 seconds of strength. I want you to count your reps, and then we have a 20-second stretch. After that, we'll repeat the exact same strength move. You have 60 seconds to get to your rep count that you did the first round. After that, it is your stretch. Come on down to a low, wide squat, feet wider than your hips, toes turned out, arms out to a T. Just bend nice to the knees, chest stays nice and lifted. So we'll do these moves in total for 5 rounds. On the next one, hold the knees bent, tiny circles with the arms. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Go ahead and reverse the direction. We'll run through all of the stretches at the end, making sure we're nice and cool down. Reach down, tap toward the opposite inside foot, calf, ankle, or knee. As you do so, straightening the opposite leg. Warming up the inner and outer thighs here. So again, every minute on the minute, you'll need a set of medium and or heavy weights, total body today. So grab the weights that you'll need for upper body, lower body, back, chest, and core. All right, from here, hinge forward your waist. Give yourself a nice big hug. As you lift your arms up towards the ceiling, squeeze your shoulder blades together, slow and controlled. So you got 40 seconds the first round. I want you to count those reps. The second, third, fourth, and fifth round, you'll have the same opportunity. You'll have 60 seconds to get to that same rep count. Come on down to a runner's lunge. Once you get to that rep count, on the subsequent reps, then you're going to come into a stretch until we come up to the next rep. Go ahead and draw the hips back, straighten the left leg, and then press it forward. Draw it back, press it forward. Hold the hips back, straight left leg, point, flex, circle out that left ankle. Hold the left toes flexed, hinge forward, framing over your left foot. Maybe bringing the nose towards your knee, heart towards your thigh. Gently rise up. Switching sides, left knee down. Take a big step forward with your right foot pressing into that right knee. Allowing your left hip to open here. Chin and chest stays lifted. Gently draw your hips back as you straighten that right leg and then press that right knee forward. Deep bend. 2 more. On the next one, hold that right leg straight, point flex, wiggle your toes, circle out that ankle, see how it feels on this side. Hold your right toes flexed, hinge forward, framing over your right foot, maybe drawing your forehead towards your toes. Gently rise up, roll your shoulders back, roll them forward. Shake out anything else that you may need to do so. Make sure you have plenty of water nearby. All right, first up we have a single arm squat to a clean press. So grab your weight of choice. Weight's gonna be in the right hand. Remember, 40 seconds on, count those reps. So 1 full squat to a clean press is 1 count. And we'll repeat the exact same thing. We're starting in 3, 2, and 1. All right, 40 seconds on the clock. Here we go. 1. Remember to count your reps. I'll let you know when we get to those 40 seconds. And then we'll all collectively stretch for 20 seconds here. Remember to count your reps. You want to get to that same rep count on the next 4 rounds. You've got 15 seconds to go. Keep it going. Reach down between your thighs. Grabbing that weight. Reach up high overhead. That's it. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, from here, cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Cross your right arm over. We're holding the stretch for 10 more seconds. Now, the next 4 rounds, we're repeating exact same moves, weights in your right hand. I want you to get to that count. When you get to that count, come back to the stretch, and then we'll start all over. All right, here we go. Round 2 or round 1, after our 40-second count, so you've got 60 seconds to get to that same rep count that you just did in the first round. Once you get there, I want you to come back into that figure 4 stretch by drawing your right foot over your left knee. You want to add an upper body, you can cross your right arm over your left shoulder. All right, you're halfway there. You should be close. You've already passed it. That's okay too. All right, when you get there, come into that stretch. If you haven't gotten to that rep count, continue with the clean presses. Remember your counts. Round 3 coming up in 5, 2, and 1. Reset, grab that weight. Here we go. Round 3 right here. So you're squatting down low, hinging forward, firing up those glutes, reaching high overhead. Your left hand, it can be on your thigh, can be on your hip to help you balance. You can have your left arm directly out from your shoulder. There is no right or wrong placement for that left arm. Reaching high up overhead, palm is facing in. You're more than halfway through this 60 seconds. You should be close. All right, when you get there, come into that stretch. You got 2 more rounds after this on the right side, and then yes, we're going to repeat the same thing on the left side. You got 5, 2, and 1. Reset. Grab that weight. Single arm snatch. Keep it going. Think about really pressing your hips back. Sink your hips down low. Yes, we've got upper body here with a clean press overhead, but we do not want to scrimp on that lower body. Don't cheat yourself. Get to that rep count if you're already there. Maybe add a few more in. You've got 27 seconds remaining. All right, once you get there, come into your stretch. Maybe sink your hips lower, keep the right toes flexed. You got less than 10 seconds here. Last round, the right side coming up in 5. All right, reset, grab that weight, here we go. Squat, overhead, clean press. Stay with it. Keep it going. You've got it. Almost there. Make sure you're exhaling as you reach up high overhead. Deep inhale as you reach that weight between your ankles. You've got it. 25 more seconds. You should be close to that count. All right, we're going to do a quick transition, bringing that weight into our left hand next. We're going to start with those counts. You want to try to get to the same count that you did on the right side for the left side, but just for S&Gs, we'll go ahead and do the count for 40 seconds. All right, open, grab that weight in your left hand. Here we go, I want you to count. You've got 40 seconds on the clock. Squat, clean press. Same options with your right hand. Can be at your hip, you can have your elbow wide, you can have it on your thigh, you can have your arm out directly from your shoulder. 15 more seconds here. Are you counting? Are you close to what you got on the right side? Last 7. Yes, you can. Hinge for your waist, stick your hips back. All right, come on down. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Flex your left foot to protect your left knee. If you want to add an upper body, cross your left arm across your body. We got that side 4 more times. In 5. You got 3, 2. All right, here we go. Grab that weight. Let's do this. Try to get to that count. Whatever that count is. You've got it. Squat, clean press. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Reach high overhead. Feel that nice stretch in your left side body as you reach your arm high overhead. You should be close. You've got 25 more seconds. All right, when you get there, come into your stretch. If you're still going, that's perfectly fine. We have a nice long stretch at the end of this workout too. Keep your left toes flat, maybe sink your hips lower. Round 3, and 2, and 1. All right, reset, grab the weight in your left hand. Here we go. Squat, clean press. You've got it. 15 seconds down. You've got a full minute here to get to that rep count. Remember, once you get to that rep count, you come into that stretch. If you're already at that rep count, you add a few more. Challenge yourself. 30 seconds to go. You should be nearing towards that number. All right, keep it going or come into that stretch when you get to that count. You've got 7. Whew. Last 2. All right, grab that weight. Here we go. Stay with it. You are so strong. Squat, clean press. Moving here with control. Avoid jerking that left arm up. You want it to be a smooth transition. Keep it going. That's it. You got 23 seconds here. Keep it going or come into that stretch once you get to that rep count. Left ankle over right thigh. Maybe sink your hips lower. Cross that left arm across the right side of your body if you'd like. In 5. We've got our last round coming up here. All right, reset. Grab that weight in your left hand. Here we go. We got a fun new move after this. We're going to grab 2 weights. 1 weight in each hand. Make sure you're still counting. We have the weights by our hips, palms facing in toward your body. I want you to give me 1 calf raise. As you lower the heels, draw the weights up to your chin. Butterflying your elbows out. Keep it going. You're halfway through the 60-second count. Almost there. Almost there. You should be close by now, if not already. Once you get there, come into your stretch. Remember, both weights, 1 weight in each hand. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. Palms facing in toward your body. Calf raise and lower. Bring those weights up towards your chin. Here we go, 40 seconds on the clock. Calf raise, lower. Chin raise, whoop, and lower. Lift, lower. Keep it going. All right, you're 15 seconds down, my goodness. Here we go. Lift, lower, chin lift, chin lower. So really butterfly those knees out. Your calves are gonna be nice and sore after this. Same with your shoulders, your delts. You've got it. You got 5 more seconds here. Remember that count. All right, finish up where you are. Set those weights down. Draw your right heel forward. Bind your arms in front. Hinge forward. We're switching in 2 and 1. Keep your arms binded. Switch sides. Left heel forward, hinging down. So 1 count is a calf raise to a chin lift. Here we go. Round 2 right here. Calf lift, chin raise, and lower. Calf lift, lower, chin lift, and lower. Drawing those elbows directly out from your shoulders. Please, please, please don't hit your chins. 35 more seconds here. Keep going. Get to that count. Maybe lift your elbows higher if you can. Keep your shoulders relaxed down from your ears. All right. You have 17 seconds left. When you're ready, come into that stretch. Maybe just doing one side and then switch and let your neck hang nice and loose. Or if you're still counting, you got 5 more seconds here. All right, grab those weights. Round 2 right here. Calf lift, lower, chin lift, lower. So you've got 60 seconds to get to that rep count that you did the first round in 40 seconds. Once you get there, do you want to challenge yourself more and do more reps? I totally support that. If you want, you can come into that stretch, single leg stretch, drawing that heel in front, heel press into the floor, toes lifted, bind your hands in front of you and hinge forward. All right, you should be getting close to that number. 20 more seconds to go. Let your neck hang nice and loose in your stretch. Palms facing down towards the floor. Press your left hip or right hip back. The straight leg hip is going to be pressed back. All right, round 4 right here. Grab those weights if you have them set down. Calf lift, lower. Goodness. Chin lift and lower. I wore the wrong shirt for this. Keep it going. You have 15 seconds down already. I almost said remaining, yes. Keep it going. If at any time you need to grab water, please do so. All right, 30 seconds to go. You've got it. Calf raise, calf lower. Chin lift, chin lower. How are those calves feeling? Are they already sore? I know it's a great feeling, isn't it? You've got it. All right, you got 12 more seconds here. Finish your rep count. Come into that stretch once you get there. You got 1 more round of this in 5. All right, grab those weights. Here we go. Last time. Don't worry, all these stretches we are going to come back to, and we're going to hold them for a lot longer than 20 seconds or less. Keep it going. Your calves should be on fire. Those shoulders, they should also feel it too. Remember to keep your shoulders pulled down from your ears. Avoid scrunching your shoulders up. Less than 30 seconds here. Calf raise, calf lower, chin lift, chin lower. All right, you got 15 more seconds here. When you're ready, come into that stretch or finish your rep count. We're grabbing 2 weights. We have straight arm tricep pulses in 5, standing or kneeling in 2. All right, here we go. Grab those weights, palms facing up, lift and lift. I want you to count. Every pulse you lift, that is a count. The timer has already begun. Keep those arms close in towards your body. Those arms start to stray outwards. Bring them back in. Notice the difference. 20 seconds down, less than 20 to go. Are you counting? Yes, there you go. Stay with it. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, the weight's down. Right arm behind your head. We're gonna do this twice. We're switching right now. Thought I was gonna look down and see 2 or 3 seconds, but nope. All right, we're gonna repeat that. You got 60 seconds to get to that rep count, then we stretch. Here we go. Palms facing up. Have a soft bend in the knees. Hinge forward. You can also come down to the floor. Hinging forward, pulse it up. Personally, I don't think kneeling or standing makes a difference. Keep it going. Just total preference. That's it. Got 34 seconds left here. Get to that rep count. Anybody regretting their weight choice? Oh yeah. All right, when you get to your rep count, come into that stretch. Remember, you got 3 more rounds of this. If you haven't gotten to that rep count, keep going. You'll get there. You've got 7 more seconds. We're going for round 3 next. And 2, and 1. Here we go. Shake it out. Grab those weights, shoulders pulled up and back. Here we go. Pulse it. Little pulses. All right, for the next 3 rounds after this, the last 3 moves, rather, not rounds. Last 3 moves, we're going to be on the floor. We'll have an option to do standing as well. If you need to take a break, that's fine. Just come back into it. Come right back into that count. You've got it. You are so strong. Firing up those triceps. You got 24 more seconds here. When you get to that count, give me that stretch. If you haven't gotten to that count, keep going. Slow it down as much as you need to. Maybe take a breather. Come back into it. You got 7 more seconds. Round 4 coming up. So strong. And 3, 2. All right, here we go. Grab those weights. Let's do this. Tricep pushbacks. Tiny pulses. So when I say pulse, it can be a tiny pulse. It can be a large pulse. It does not have to necessarily be a monumental movement. It can be a small movement, teeny tiny, as long as you're moving. Maybe it's just squeezing your triceps and lifting. Maybe you're just lifting that muscle as opposed to that arm. But keep those arms straight. Keep them close into your body. Try to keep them back behind your hips if you can, or parallel to your hips to start. 22 more seconds. You should be close. All right, when you get there, give me that stretch. Going for round 5 and 4. All right, shake it out. Grab those weights. Make this your best yet. Press it up. So again, the last 3 moves that we're going to do, we're going to be on the floor. Option for standing. You want to go heavy. For this first one, we have glute bridge, lift and lower. If you want to stay standing, you can do a good morning with the weights on your shoulders or at your chest, or you can do a wall sit and press your knees out. You've got 25 more seconds here. Don't stop now if you haven't gotten to your rep count. Once you get there, go ahead and give me that stretch when you get to that count. All right, remember your options. Standing, good morning, or kneeling, wall sit, or on the floor, glute bridge, lift and lower. All right, go ahead and come into your movement. Grab those weights. Find your position of choice. Zip your legs together. Give me that count. We've already started those 40 seconds. I want you to count your glute bridges, your knee lifts, or your good mornings. If you're doing glute bridges, your shoulders stay pressed in towards the floor, gaze up towards the ceiling. If you're doing wall sits, your shoulders, your back, all the way down to your lower spine is pressed into the wall. 10 more seconds here. Keep that count. If you're saying doing good mornings, bend deeper into your knees, press your hips back. All right, lower your hips down from here. Happy baby if you're on the floor, or gorilla stretch if you're standing. Reaching for your toes, bend and extend the knees. All right, round 2 coming up next, and 5. Remember that count depending on where you are. You want to do those good mornings. Zip those legs together. Hinge forward. Brad, it gets a little hard to see when you're facing me. So you want to press those hips back, just as if you were doing a deadlift, but the placement of the weight is on your shoulders. Typically you have it on a barbell behind you, unless we have barbells at home. I know I don't. If you do, great, grab one. But you want to hinge back and act as if you're trying to press your hips into that chair. Your neck is a neutral spine. Where your body hinges, your gaze follows. When you get to that count, come back to your stretch, gorilla or happy baby. You got 15 more seconds. All right. Give me those stretches, happy baby or gorilla. All right, here we go, round 3. If you're in the wall sit, you grab those weights, open and close. Yes, I want your shoulders, both shoulder blades pressed in towards the wall. Pretend like someone is pressing your shoulders, pressing you against that wall. Do not lean forward. If you're doing the glute bridges, same concept. I want your shoulders pressed in towards the floor. Avoid lifting them. Keep your legs zipped together, whether you are on the floor, in your wall sit, or standing or kneeling gorilla. All right, 20 seconds remaining. You should be close. Your stretch is happy baby or gorilla. You can roll side to side, forwards and backwards. Maybe bend, extend your legs. All right, round 3 coming up here. Reset. Place those weights back on your hips or your shoulders if you're doing a good morning. So the same option for good morning. If you want to be kneeling, weights on your shoulders. Oh no, lost my AirPod. That's okay. Press the hips back, hips towards your heels, and then rise up. So you're hinging forward and rising. Squeeze your glutes the entire time. Activate your core here. Draw that navel deep into your spine, up to the crown of your head. No matter what position you're in, you should be close, if not already. You got 10 more seconds. When you get to that count, come into your stretch, gorilla or happy baby. All right, last round right here. Make it your best yet. Get to that rep count because it's glutes and they're so fun. You guys know I love glutes and abs. When you get to that rep count, I want you to try to give me one more. One more because it's the last time that we're doing these glute bridges, good mornings or wall sits. And we're moving on. Let's see, what do we have next? All right, we have a reverse crunch or a hip lift if you're on the floor. If you're standing, alternating knee drives, 2 equals 1. So right knee, left knee, that is 1 count. All right, you got 20 seconds remaining. If you got to that count, give me one more and then come into your stretch. That's it. All right. You can grab one weight if you would like. Weight overhead, hip lifts. If you're on the floor, I want you to try to avoid swinging forwards and backwards. You don't want to use momentum. You just want to lift those hips up. Pretend that you're trying to stamp the sole of your foot, maybe your toes, maybe your heels into the ceiling. If you're standing, weight overhead, knee drive, knee drive. Same thing without rocking side to side. Too much. 2 equals 1. Remember that count. You got 7 more seconds here. Last 3, 2, and 1. All right. Give me a back bend or give me a bridge and releasing your fingers underneath your hips if you're on the floor. You've got 10 more seconds. We're going to come back into it 4 more times. We're working those lower abs here. All right, let's do this with or without the weight. Hip lifts or reverse crunch if you're on the floor. If you're standing, give me those alternating knee drives. Remember, if you're standing, 2 equals 1. You want to keep everything symmetrical, right and left side. If you're on the floor, we're doing double heel lifts. So you're just counting each time. Lower abs right here. All right, you got 25 more seconds. You should be close. Almost there. All right, when you get there, go ahead and give me your stretch. Back bend if you're standing. Full bridge if you're on the floor. You got 5 more seconds wherever you're at. Strength or stretch portion. All right, round 3 right here. Remember your options, knee drive or hip lift. Try to avoid rocking your body, keeping everything nice and still. Remember, we're going to do all these stretches one more time through, and we're going to hold them longer at the end. So no stress. If you don't get to stretch as long as you'd like, you're halfway through this minute. You know what that means. You got 2 more rounds of this afterwards. Finishing strong. All right, 15 seconds. You should be close. When you get to that count, give me a stretch, back bend, or bridge. We're going for round 4. Here we go. Hip lifts or alternating knee drives. If you're on the floor and you find that you're pressing your shoulders so far into it, you're actually using your upper body to lift your hips, bring your palms facing up. Notice you're not using your arms anymore. You're using your abs, your hip flexors. Keep it going, lift and lower. You do want to actively press your shoulders in towards the floor like someone's opening up your chest, but you don't want to use your upper body to lift your hips. You got 20 more seconds here. You should be close to your number. Maybe you're already in your stretch. All right, when you get there, come into your stretch. You got 1 more round of this. Going for round 3, round 5. I saw 3 seconds left. All right, here we go. Last count, last time doing this. Then we have 1 more fun move. So we're covering it all today. We did glutes. We're doing lower abs. Now we're going to be doing upper abs next. So if you're on the floor, we have a toe reach. Try to grab those weights. If you're standing, I want you to reach for the toes. Maybe set the weight off to the side if you're standing. Keep it going. You got 22 more seconds here. Hip lifts or knee drives. Enjoying that stretch once you get there, no matter how much time you have. All right, release your hips down. If you're on the floor, grab that weight, reach for your toes. This is your toe reach. I want you to lift your shoulders, lift your upper back, maybe your middle back up off the floor. Just your lower back stays in contact. If you're standing, bring that weight off to the side. Reach down for your toes. You can draw your elbows wide so you're not using your upper body. You're just using your abs. Hinging And lifting. Continue with your count. You got 7 more seconds here. You can have a soft bend in the knees or straight. You got 2 and 1. All right. If you're standing, elbow side to side. If you're on the floor, give me a supine twist. Knees bent. Let them fall from side to side. All right, we've got round 2 coming up. Remember that count. Toe reaches on the floor or standing. Here we go. You've got 60 seconds on the clock. Once you get to that rep count, I want you to stretch. If you're on the floor, supine twist by bending your knees, letting your knees fall to the right, back to center, over to the left, back to center. If you're standing for that stretch, keep your elbows wide and just twist side to side, right to left, left to right. If you're standing, continue to keep your elbows wide, crunch down, and lift. So you're not moving your lower body, just crunching and lifting. Very similar to if you were on the floor, but your elbows are wide. All right, you got 10 more seconds. Maybe coming into that stretch of choice, side to side. All right, round 3 coming up now. Here we go. Slow and control. Get to that rep count. Keep it going. If you're standing, keep your elbows wide. Open up your chest. Hinge, crunch. Use your upper abs and then come back to standing, stacking your shoulders over your hips. If you're on the floor, maybe grab that weight. Reach your hands toward your toes. You've got it. You've got 25 more seconds here. That's it. Once you get to that count, go ahead and give me that stretch. Twisting side to side, continuing to keep your elbows wide if you're standing. Supine twist. Elbows wide, let your knees fall to the right or left side. If you're on the floor, here we go. Round 4 right here. Standing on the floor. Both options are killer for your upper core. You should feel this. Your chin is tucked, but remember, try to keep that clementine under your chin so you're not drawing your chin into your chest. You have a slight distance between your chin and your chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crunch. You got 22 more seconds here. Stay with it. When you're ready, find that stretch side to side. You've got 1 more round of this. Upper abs. 1 last time in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Finish nice and strong. You've got 55 more seconds to go. Get to that count. You've got it. Stay with it. Long stretches coming up after this. You've got it. Reach and reach. If you're on the floor, reach your fingers toward your toes. If you're standing, keep those elbows wide. All right, you got 27 more seconds. Are you close to that number? If you already hit that number, come into your stretch. We're going to do all the stretches from the floor in 5. So if you're standing, maybe grab a sip of water, bring your heart rate down, come onto the floor. When you're ready, we're going to start with that figure 4 stretch. So your knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor. Lift your right leg high to the ceiling, flex your right foot, and draw your right ankle over your left thigh. Press your right knee away from your body. You can also do this standing if you prefer. Maybe grabbing onto a wall or a ledge with your left hand to help support. All right, with your left ankle still crossed, if you're on the floor, give me a glute bridge, lift and lower 2 times. If you're standing, maybe just press deeper into that knee. If you're on the floor, you can let your knees fall from one side to the next. You can maybe try to reach your hands towards the floor if you're standing. All right, come back to center. Release your right foot back to the floor. Extend your left leg long. Flex your left foot. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Keeping that foot flexed to protect the same knee. Maybe gently pressing that left knee away from your body. Opening up your left hip a little bit more. If you're standing, continue with that stretch. If you're on the floor, you want to do some glute bridges. Lift and lower 2 times. You can also let your knees fall to the side if you're on the floor. Continuing to try to open up your hips a little bit more, regardless of if you're on the floor or standing. All right, release that left foot back to the floor. From here, if you're standing, draw your right heel in towards the floor, flex your toes. If you're on the floor, keep your left knee bent. Draw your right leg up to the ceiling. You can grab the back side of your thigh. You can grab the back side of your calf. You're on the floor, you can extend that left leg to deepen the stretch. Maybe draw your chin towards your knee if you're standing or on the floor. Single leg stretch. Gently draw your legs together, maybe coming into a tight ball if you're on the floor. Maybe just planting both of your feet if you're standing. Go ahead and release your right foot to the floor. Extend your left leg long, flexing your left foot, toes to the ceiling, heels into the floor. You can grab the back side of your left thigh. Woo. You can grab your calf. Keep getting a pinch in my left hip. Holding here and breathing. You can also extend your right leg if you're on the floor. If you're standing or on the floor, you can draw your knee closer towards your nose. Maybe try to straighten that left leg more. Maybe try to flex your left toes more. Feel that deepening calf stretch. Really draw both your knees in. Curl yourself to a tight ball. Release your feet on the floor, keeping your knees bent. Overhead tricep stretch. So if you're standing, draw your right elbow behind your head. If you're on the floor, same concept, but you're keeping your arms overhead as opposed to letting your right arm fall behind your body. Open, circle out your wrist. Switch sides. Left elbow grabs from right hand. Gently release the bind, circle out your wrist. If you're on the floor, come to happy baby. If you're standing, come to gorilla. Placing your hands maybe under the ball of your feet, maybe around your ankles. You can bend and extend your legs. If you're on the floor for happy baby, you can grab the outer knife edge of your foot or grab the back side of your thigh. Let your knees fall towards the sides of your rib cage. You can bend and extend the legs. Maybe ninja baby if you're on the floor. Single leg extends. One knee's bent. You can straighten the legs. Gently come out of happy baby or gorilla. We have our bridge or reclined back bend. So lift your hips up if you're on the floor. Maybe interlace your fingers, lifting your hips higher. If you're standing, just gently place your fingertips on your lower back, fingertips towards your glutes. Maybe gaze up towards the ceiling. Maybe gaze back to the wall behind you. If you're in a back bend on the floor, just gaze up towards the ceiling. If you're on the floor, tuck your chin to your chest, slowly lower down. Release the bind of your hands. From here, elbows are wide. Draw your knees over your hips if you're on the floor. Let your knees fall from side to side. If you're standing, rotate your upper body, twisting side to side. Supine twist standing or kneeling, not kneeling, or on the floor. More sides to side. All right, come back to center. Rock and roll yourself a few times on the floor. If you are on the floor still, how did I get this? All right. Somehow I got my towel on my hair. All right, nice big inhale. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you for staying for the whole class.